Los Angeles. It's the Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, God.
And now, here he is. Tom Leykis. Thank you for tuning into the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of a radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No! I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You gotta need it at 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of the program. We appreciate it. Look at this story. I have to find out if there are people like this listening to our show. Maybe you're one of them. I have to know. Because, as they say, inquiring minds want to know. This is from the Japan Times. A newspaper, you idiot. Here it is. Oh, I know your magazine. My husband reads it all the time. That's a quote. And they're talking about a magazine called Shukan Asahi. Shukan Asahi's interviewer felt some discomfort that one of his loyal readers might soon be seeing an interview with his own wife, who, unbeknown to him, performs her house chores each morning, then heads for a condominium in Tokyo's Ikebukuro district, where she provides as many as 5 male customers a day with sex and sympathy. Atsumi, a pseudonym, age 30, took her part-time job in the sex industry to pay back several million yen in debts run up on her credit card. I'd die before I let him know, she says. 5 days a week, she spends the hours of 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. serving johns on the premises of a place called Ikebukuro Hituzuma Ryu Ari, which is a name that means the wife with a reason.
Huh?
Yeah, I know. Its main attractions are married women or divorcees. At the rate of about 10,000 yen per customer, her earnings reach about 400,000 yen per month. Young girls are too self-centered. They're no good at making small talk with customers, explains Atsumi's employer, who keeps about 50 women on the roster. The men who come here are tired. They seek sympathy more than stimulation. Realizing this, he launched his business 7 years ago. Back then, he says, it wasn't that easy for married women to find this kind of work. Of late, however, establishments staffed by married women have been thriving. When they say establishments, that's a euphemism, baby. These are whorehouses. Younger gals aren't responding to the ads these days, says a salesman for one of the half dozen or so magazines that run sex industry job recruitment ads. On the other hand, responses from married women have been amazing. Shots might get 40 calls for one position, and they seem eager to start work right away. Not all the ladies who toil at Atsumi's shop keep the knowledge of their activities from their husbands. Mineko, also a pseudonym, a slender and attractive 32-year-old, came from a wealthy family, and thanks to a cushy job at a relative's company, enjoyed a free-spending lifestyle. But 3 years ago, her husband found himself out of work and was forced to take a sharp wage cut at his next job. Mineko, unable to curb her profligate spending habits, soon found herself 4 million yen in debt. She initially kept her husband in the dark about her new occupation, but about 2 months after she started working there, he suspected something funny was going on and confronted her, saying, "You've changed recently. Are you hiding something from me?" After initial denials, she confessed He implored her to quit immediately, but she retorted, "I'm just not willing to compromise my lifestyle." Wow. Since most of her husband's earnings go toward apartment rent and private tutoring for their son, he had no choice but to let her continue. Oh, really? These kinds of husbands are called risutora himo, downsized pimps. That's what that means. Says Chuya Nakao, a writer covering what they call the pink trade. In olden times, it was fairly common for yakuza or profligate gamblers to hire their wives out to brothels, Nakao says. More recently, in households where the main breadwinner has been laid off, it's not unusual for wives to engage in prostitution to help support their family.
I drink to that.
I feel a little guilty about what I'm doing, Atsumi admits to Shukan Asahi. That's the magazine. I don't speak Japanese either, believe me. When I see the balance of what I owe to the loan shark going down, I'm so relieved. I'm careful to keep my husband from getting suspicious, she adds, but a few times while we were making love, I got careless and performed a maneuver I only do at work. That made me break out the cold sweat, she said. So there you have a story from Japan about women who are housewives and frequently have children. And they are middle class, upper middle class, whatever. And they like to spend. And for some reason, money is tight, and so they go out and whore themselves out unbeknownst to their husbands. I'm wondering if that just happens in Japan. Or I'm wondering if it also happens here. So I am wondering. I can't imagine men doing this, but maybe there are men who do it. We'd certainly talk to you. But ladies, you are married or have a boyfriend. You may have a child, you may not. Have you ever gone out on the side and tried to make money from having sex? It could be straight payments. It could be dating rich guys on the side. Whatever. Have you ever tried to make ends meet by making your end meet someone else's end? If you know what I mean. For profit. If you have ever been a prostitute on the side, you are married or you're living with somebody, and that person hasn't known or does not know, maybe you're doing it right now, I want to hear all about it.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Pipe down. I'm talking to Tom now.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. All right. I'm trying to find out about people who have prostituted themselves to make a living on the side. You're married, or you're living with someone. Or maybe it's your wife who did it. Maybe you found out about it yourself. And I'll love to hear these stories at 1-800-5800-866. Bruce, on a cell phone, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's up? I did the same thing to my wife when we were in Japan, and I told her, you know, if you want your own money, you got to go out and get it. And sure enough, she went out and got it, and she started bringing home some money and whatnot, and came home on a daily basis around 10 or 11 o'clock at night. But I'll tell you.
So wait, how did you find out that's how she was making money?
I told her to go out and do it.
You told her to whore herself out?
Heck yeah, because I wasn't getting anything from her. I was having my, I was implementing your theories when I was over there.
Let me understand something. How did she react to that?
At first she was kind of offended by it, but about a week afterwards when I first suggested it to her, I said, why don't you go out? You know, you're good looking. You can go out and service all these other guys, and it's a lot more common over there than your paper article made it come out. It's a lot more common.
Mm-hmm. Is it legal? Is prostitution legal in Japan?
It's legal to an extent. There's the catchy part of it. Vaginal sex is technically illegal in Japan. Anal sex is not.
You're talking about as prostitution.
Right.
I mean, if vaginal sex were totally illegal, there wouldn't be any new Japanese.
Right. But I was talking to some friends who participated in that side of it, going out and just paying a few $100, you know. And they always say, you know, they might say they'll do the anal sex, but it never ends up in that hole.
Really?
Really.
Mm-hmm. So your wife went out at your urging and became a hooker in Japan.
Well, it wasn't just that. It was, you know, I wasn't getting anything from her. We were at there pretty much at the end of our marriage at the time, and she wanted money. She came from a high-class family over there.
Right.
And I said, if you want your money, you go out and get it.
Wow. Wow.
And I was having fun implementing your Leykis 101 over there.
So you were banging other chicks.
Of course.
Now, why did you guys even stay together? I don't understand.
We didn't. We're gone.
No, but at the time, why were you staying together?
My visa.
Oh, is she Japanese?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I wanted to stay over there and have as much fun as I could. Because it's really, really easy. You know, you go over there and you say you're a high-class executive for some company, even though you're not. And you go down in the Lopogi section of Tokyo, which is where all the foreigners hang out, and all the Japanese girls come in there, and you can go back to what they call a love hotel over there, and that's just what it is. The hotel you rent by the hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how much did she make being a hooker?
It depends on what she was doing. It's kind of like a picture menu. And you have the pictures of the girls, and the girl's picture is the light behind it's out. I mean, she's busy with somebody, and if you have your picture, it's illuminated, and it's like so much for BJ, and it's like so much for this, and the price goes up.
Wow.
Anywhere between $85 for a BJ up to about $220 for the whole schmo. Now,
do they regulate it like they do in, say, Holland?
They do a little bit, but it's more the police kind of stay out of it because they're not going to go in and see which hole's wet, you might say.
Wow.
But, no, I had a great time over there, implementing your theories and whatnot, and I might go back again someday.
Had a good time lying about what you do for a living and pretending to have more money than you have and things like that?
Oh, yeah. It's a great idea. You can get over there and do it. It's great.
Absolutely.
But it's kind of hard to do that $40 rule over there because over there, you know, you go in for a glass of beer and it's $8.
Yeah.
And so
kind of like Staples Center here in L.A.
Yeah, you kind of have to up that ante just a tiny bit. But I was making good money over there, so I didn't really care too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I was getting my fair share.
I'll bet you were. Hi, Bruce.
Good time.
I'll bet you were. Well, thank you for the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. I'm trying to talk to people who have either, you know, you're married and you needed some cashola, and so you went out and whored yourself out. You went out and got paid to give sexual favors to somebody else. Or maybe you found out your wife was whoring herself out. Your girlfriend, whoever. But I'm always curious about people who do this. It's a fascinating story. So, have you ever done that? You know, and I'm not going to beat the crap out of you or anything. You can tell me your story at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's 1-800-5800-866. Dan, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello. Hey, Tom.
Dan.
How's it going?
Pretty good.
Yeah? Yeah, I used to hold my wife out. Yeah, we were homeless for about 2 months, and I used to do that, and we stayed in a tent for a while.
You used to do what?
I used to hold my wife out.
Oh, I thought you were prostituting yourself.
No, my wife. Yeah.
So you would send her out.
Huh?
So you lived in Seattle at the time?
Yeah.
So were you living under a freeway underpass? Where were you living?
Yeah, in the woods in a tent.
I see. And so how did she solicit business out there in the woods?
Just walk down 99, back highway.
Really?
Yeah.
And she'd just do anybody who had cash?
Anybody who stopped the car.
Really?
Yeah.
And that was okay with you?
Well, yeah, we had to do it, you know. It was just ways to get around, you know.
Can I ask you a dopey question? You're 24 years old now. How were you homeless?
Huh?
How were you homeless at such a young age?
I lost my job. She lost her job.
How long ago was that?
How long ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Well, it was like the economy was like the best it's ever been 2 years ago. How could you not have a job and become homeless 2 years ago?
2 years ago?
Were you on drugs? Were you lazy? What was the deal?
Yeah, I was smoking pot and just real lazy and didn't want to go to work. Got fired from my job. She got fired from her job, you know.
All right, so there you were in the woods near Seattle, and you would send your wife out to Highway 99, and she would solicit drivers.
Yeah.
And how much did they pay her?
About $25-$30 for a blow up, and about $50-$75 for a lay.
Uh-huh. And she brought that cash home.
Yeah.
To the woods.
Yeah, to the woods and the tent.
I see. And did you finally get out of being homeless because she was a hooker?
Yeah. Yeah, she bring home, when she topped out, you know, when we were ending, she bring home about $1,000 a week.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you finally got a place to live, did she stop doing it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She did?
Yeah.
So the two of you are still together?
Yeah.
You are?
Oh, yeah.
Now, that's a strange story. I mean, didn't it weird you out at all? It's your wife.
What's that?
Didn't that weird you out at all? This is your wife.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't talk about it very much anymore, you know. It's kind of a sore subject.
That's very strange. I mean, again, you really have to like pot a lot. Now, I've smoked pot, okay?
Yeah.
But you have to like it a lot to let yourself become homeless during an economic boom. Were you still smoking pot then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, are you still smoking pot now?
Yes.
So it could happen again, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, I'm unemployed right now, and I got her working at some rinky-dink place.
And do I hear a kid in the background?
Yeah.
So you're having kids.
Yeah.
That's bizarre and pathetic. I can't believe you're doing that. Why are you having kids?
Just, you know, I don't know. We wanted to.
Yeah, I know, but you're not exactly on firm ground financially, and you're still married to somebody who you had to whore out.
Yep.
Really?
Yep. But that's my story.
All right, Dan, thank you for that. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Have you ever, you're married or you're living with somebody, and just like the story we read from the Japan Times, there are housewives in Japan who, unbeknownst to their husbands, they go and work as hookers during the day to pay their credit card bills, pay for their shoes and handbags, what have you. Stuff that the husbands can't afford to pay for. So I'm wondering if you are doing that or you have done that. So you either straight out hoard yourself out, or maybe you just started on the side like dating rich guys who handed over some cashola. Have you done that? You call me right now at 1-800-5800-TOM. It's 1-800-5800-866. More of your telephone calls are coming up. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, where can a fella get a hooker around here?
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. And to find out if you have ever poured yourself out for money on the side, like you're married, you got a boyfriend. He doesn't know about it. Or by the same token, have you found out that the woman you're with is doing this? It's Bob on a cell phone. Bob, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello?
Bob.
Yeah.
It's Tom.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Okay, well, yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I went with a girl for about 12 years, and she'd get drunk, stay gone, and give it away. And I met a girl who was a prostitute, and we got along good for over 2 years, and then we broke up, but I'm living with another one now.
You're living with a prostitute?
What's that?
You're living with a prostitute now?
Yes.
Now, tell me why you choose prostitutes.
Not that I really choose them. I just happen to be who I ran with. I mean,
where do you meet them? I mean, you patronize prostitutes? Is that how you meet them?
No.
How do you meet them? Like, how do you meet a prostitute?
In the bars. Outside, in the bars. I just met them, and, The one I was a cab driver for a lot of years. I mean, I drove cabs off and on for like 20 years, but I drove tow trucks. I drove for Airborne Express. I did a lot of things, but driving cabs, I'd meet a lot of girls. And
so you start off as a paying customer?
Yeah, I will say that kind of, but no, I wasn't. But anyways, I'm with the one right now. One of them. Yeah, you want to talk to her?
Yeah, put her on.
All right.
What's her name?
Hi there.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm sorry?
What is your name?
Diane.
Diane.
Yes.
Diane, how'd you meet Bob?
I met Bob through another friend.
What you did?
Through another friend.
Yeah, that was kind of like his neighbor that lived a few blocks down.
And was he a customer of yours?
Was he what?
A customer of yours?
A customer? No, he was not.
He was not.
No.
So did Bob's friend know what you did for a living?
Yes.
He did?
Yes.
How long have you been a hooker?
Oh, just about 2 years.
2 years? And why did you start?
Income? Men, really. Actually, a man.
A man? You mean a pimp?
Oh, no. I don't believe in any of that.
When you say a man, what do you mean?
Well, they got me in the hole, and I was...
A man got you in the hole, meaning you were supporting a man?
No, they just got me in trouble, and, they don't... He said he loved me, and then he just, up and booked after he sold all my stuff, everything I owned.
Stole all your stuff, so you had to go out and become a hooker.
Well, yeah.
Okay, no, that's fine. So now, where do you work?
What do you mean, where do I work?
Like, what area? I mean, do you work the street? Are you a call girl? What's the deal?
Well, I have a cell phone, and usually I get the regulars that call me.
And how did you create this?
Started out on the street.
How did you start it out on the street? You created a client list.
Right, and I built up some clientele that way.
Wow. And how many guys do you do a night?
Well, I don't do it every day, so that's really hard to say.
How much do you make?
It depends what they want.
Depends on what they want.
Well, yeah.
So you're a single mom.
Yeah.
And you still need the money.
Yes.
And so you go out and so about how many nights a week are you doing this?
I'm sorry?
About how many nights a week are you doing this? How much do you make?
It just depends what a person wants. I mean, I don't go out every day, so...
Right.
I mean, I can go a few days and not even have any calls or walk or anything.
So you don't work the streets anymore. You just...
I do occasionally, yes, when there's nothing else available.
And is there a part of town where you work?
What part of town?
Yeah.
Are we on the radio right now?
We are, but I don't know your last name. You're anonymous. I mean, if it's
Highway, if you want to know.
You work, where's that?
Dort Highway.
And where is that located?
In Flint.
In Flint, Michigan. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, so I imagine if
what radio station am I talking to?
We're on 97.1 FM Talk in Detroit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's in Flint.
In Flint, okay.
Flint, Michigan. Mm-hmm.
Now, are there a lot of prostitutes in Flint?
Yes, there is actually.
Really?
Because you have the south side, which is Dort Highway. You have the east side, which would be Olive Street. That's almost like a residential area.
Uh-huh.
And then you have the north end, which is, and nothing derogatory against Fife, but that's a black area.
Now, Flint is not that big. I can't believe there are that many hookers.
Usually the Dort Highway, which is probably Looking Cut to Hemp Hill, would be maybe a 1.5 mile, 2 mile stretch. Would be, on the business section. Because Dort Highway just runs, miles, but that's the main area. And I would say, actually, when I started, I could count at least 10 in that area, at least.
Wow.
And now, I don't see as many. I would say every now and then I would say 2 or 3 out on the street in that stretch.
All right. How old is your kid?
I've had 4 boys. My oldest one is 21, and then my second one, he passed away in 92. My third one is 6, and my youngest one's 4.
And do your kids know what you do for a living?
No, they don't.
They don't. What do they think you do for a living?
Well, a waitress.
You're a waitress.
Yes. I am a bartender of trade.
So you still work as a bartender, too?
No, I don't have a legal source of income at this time.
Oh, you don't? Is that because you can't find work or because it's not as profitable as prostitution?
Well, that is a main thing. Prostitution is has a lot more income. But no, I just wasn't stable enough to get a legal source of income at this time.
Hang on a second here, Diane. Vicky, what did you want to say to Diane here?
You are a crazy freak, man. Are you nuts? Do you know how many terrible people there are in this world?
I know there is, and it's very dangerous. And I have been in so many serious incidences that it is scary out there. It really is.
I am in Flint right now, and it is so busy. And I cannot believe, are you standing on the side of the road right now?
No, I'm not. I'm in a car driving with my friend right now. I'm on the cell phone talking right now.
You have children?
Yeah, my children are with me.
Go to school. Get an education. People will...
You know what? You are already being saying I don't have an education. How do you know how far of education? I have a couple years.
What does it matter? You're hooking.
You know, you can't. So what?
Who the hell cares?
Kind of person? Wait a minute.
You're opening your lives to people. You obviously have no education.
Excuse me, ma'am. You all of a sudden... No, this is a lady here I'm talking to. Oh. She's already assuming that I have no education. I'm flying back because of my title.
Obviously, someone who had an education would not be laying on somebody's back seat, opening their legs for him and taking money for
it. At least I'd rather do that than go to a bar and have him buy me a drink and be a slut. At least I have you know, and I'm not some generic brand, so I'm not just doing it for $5 or something.
I have a husband. I am pregnant. I do not drink. I do not go out.
I don't drink either.
Stupid-ass men that have no money and only want to have you stick their thing in them.
You know what?
Ridiculous and disgusting.
Is it ridiculous?
Get a real job. The government is not paying taxes for people to be out hooking. The government, we do not pay taxes for hookers. That's not what my tax money is for.
Don't worry, Diane's not paying taxes either.
It has nothing to do with this. Taxes have nothing to do with what.
You're a freak, man. Get a real job.
Well, you know what? You know what?
I hope your children don't do this when they grow up. They're learning from you.
You know, my children don't know learning from you. You know what? You're automatically assuming what kind of person because of the title. You can't even go by that.
What? Isn't that what 90% of the population is doing right now? Assuming that you are a slut because you're a hooker? That is exactly what they're doing. Anybody else? It would tell you the same damn thing.
You know, you can't lose respect for somebody that's trying to make a living. And what they do behind doors is their own.
You know what? I'm trying to make a living too, but you know what? I have 3 jobs. I'm pregnant. I have a daughter, and I go to school. Mm-hmm. And I am making a living.
So, you know, that doesn't make me worse than you.
Oh, it definitely does.
All right, Vicky, thank you for that. Boy, that was a pretty angry response, huh?
Yes.
Wow. By the way, could you ask Bob to turn the radio down? Because we can't do this with the radio.
I'll put Bob on here.
All right, there goes Diane. Diane's had enough.
You can't hear. Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, Tom again?
Yes, no, I'm the other guy.
Oh, I haven't been able to listen because I haven't been able to listen, so I don't even know where you're at.
I know. Well, some woman named Vicky called in. She was very upset at Diane. She was calling from Flint.
Oh, she was calling from Flint, too?
She was very angry.
Oh. Oh, well, you'd be surprised at how many,
You know, my son, I'm one of the suspecting ones.
Oh, look, we can only do this one at a time, guys. I mean, if Diane wants to talk, you can put her back on and she can talk to me again, but we can only do this one at a time.
Oh, okay, well, she switched the phone over to me. I think I didn't know why. I thought you wanted...
Sounds like she's not done.
Sound like she's what?
Sounds like she's not done. She's still talking.
Oh, yeah, she's yelling in my ear over here.
Well, maybe she ought to just get back on the phone and yell at me.
All right, hang on.
All right.
Hello.
Sounds like you're not done yet.
Oh, we're not.
No, you. I hear you in the background.
Oh.
I mean, I can't, if you're going to yell in the background, I can't hear what Bob is saying. You know that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
So if you want to talk to me, we can talk some more if you want.
So we can do another one of those, huh?
Well, no, we're not going to take any more calls for you, but look how angry she was. Wow.
Yeah, she was. She was really angry. And she already stereotyped me. See?
Yes.
You see how she stereotyped my title?
Yes, she did.
And you know, she's already assuming I have no education. I do have an education, and I'm not a stupid woman.
Well, I guess the question, here's the question.
If I was a stupid woman, I probably would have already been, and I hate to say this, I probably would have been killed by now.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to ask, she was being really nasty, and I'll ask what she was asking in a nice way, okay? If you got that kind of education, why don't you just have a job instead of hooking?
Okay.
I'm just asking. I don't even know the answer, but I thought maybe you could tell me.
Well, I'll answer that for you.
Okay.
I kind of answered that question for you before she was on the line.
Yeah.
I'm not in a stable home at this point, and I wasn't in a stable home, and and I have to, from being out on.
So you live with Bob, but that's not. Wait a minute. You live with Bob, but it's not a stable home.
Now I do. Yes, I do now.
So you're in a stable home now.
Okay, now I'm in a stable home.
All right. So then the question is, why don't you have like a job?
Okay, so now I have to work my way into getting a job. I have to get some clothes. Everything I own is in storage up north in Tawas City. I don't know if you know where that is. That's 2 hours from here.
Wow.
110 miles from here.
Uh-huh.
So, I have to either get all my stuff out of storage and find out where I'm going to do with all, I have a house full of stuff there.
Uh-huh.
So, that's why I'm doing what I was doing.
Right, I understand.
Okay.
And you in love with Bob? Is this like a relationship, or is he just...
Yeah, this is a relationship.
It is. And Bob has no problem with the fact that you're out there hooking?
He does, yeah, he has a problem with it.
He'd like you to stop?
Huh?
He would like you to stop doing it?
Yeah, no, he doesn't like that, me being out on the street.
So he would like you to stop?
Yeah, would you like me to stop, Bob, being out on the street? Does that bother you?
No, I'd rather have you not on the
street. He'd rather have me at home.
There we go.
Never once asked her to go out on the street.
He has never asked me to go out on the street.
Yeah, you were already going.
And I do not make you. I do not make money from you.
But he doesn't take money from me or anything. If that,
No, I understand.
He's not one of those tennis shoe pimps. Is what the police officers call them out here. These
tennis shoe pimps. What are those?
A police officer calls a tennis shoe pimp one of these white boys that follow the girl around. And they don't own a car. They don't have a job. And they just try to mooch whatever they can off this woman.
So what is Bob, like a Kenneth Cole pimp? He's got nicer shoes, or what's it?
They don't.
And what now?
I'm kidding. All right, listen, Diane and Bob, thank you both. That's more of an education in one phone call than they've gotten in a month. Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Cindy on the cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Cindy, hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Cindy.
How you doing?
Pretty damn good.
Good. I'm probably Vicky's next-door neighbor. I'm probably her best friend.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Do tell.
Well, it's just ignorance like that. I'm probably more educated than she is or ever will be. And I do what I do because, A, I like it. B, I'm not going to go work for peanuts when, I'm used to making this kind of money. Unless, of course, I found something that either challenged me or, I don't know, I really loved it. But, I chose to do this and... that's the way it is.
Now, do you have a boyfriend or a husband or anything?
I had a boyfriend for a while, and, I was doing it when I met him, and it was one of the first things I said, hey, if you want to date me, this is what I do. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. And he, we probably lasted almost a year, and I guess it got to him, but, I told him until he made as much money as me, he really, can't complain.
And how much did you make? Or do you make?
Well, I charge $200 an hour. And
we don't know how many hours you work. So how much do you make, like, in a month? Or a week? Or a year?
Oh, well, I don't know. It depends. Last year, I filed almost $180,000 on my, taxes.
Now, you realize if you got an education and went out and got a real profession, you can make $180,000 a year.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get into medical school soon. We'll see, though, I mean, I definitely have enough saved to get me through. I can't imagine giving it up.
You can't imagine giving it up. Unbelievable.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Answer the question.
I'm trying to, but you keep doing it.
Don't answer the question. You're answering questions I didn't ask. I'm asking a specific question. I want an answer to that question.
The Tom Leykis Show.